Atochin chitab Kalenjin en tetutiet noton nebo Kass Mashinani netunen ketesiet noton nebo Kass TV kotikegere Kass TV kokawonge tuyet noton nebo parliamentary group nekatestai en bunge noton nebo chamait noton nebo UDA ole kaindochi President William Ruto ak rubiondenyin Rigathi Gachagua ole kamiten kandoik alak cheterterchin kobaten moiwisi kong noton ko estudimetab raini kemiten ak acting CEO noton nebo kibagengeit noton nebo Kipruto nebo Tusk anan ko Tour Operators Society of Kenya inendet ko Raymond Cheruiyot so moe kole tos kereji ngene kotieng ngal natestai emetab raini en State House kotieng ngalekab tuguk chaimuch komwa MPs kole wendi kechoru anan makitese aisurut kotos ne kerenyin kotienge ak noton itagat studio bwana Imon.
Kongoi bwana Shadi. Thank you very much kai Tachan ako kikogen kinonyone station. And bye kemi tugul raini sikobit keger ngalek chebo finance bill. It was becoming a hot cake.
Thanks for finding time. Ako mit kora mungeit ko anget tuye noton komiten State House. En ngalalet ako nguni anan ako kotom ngalal ko ka ter kerengung kotingo kin kebwati ko kitesai surut. Kobaten jamuch ko emetab raini kosbog nebo ngacheret en committee noton nebo chobetab noton nebo chepkondok ko kamwa kole mi tuguk chokoyonjin kole koyum en keretab biikab emet kotingok chemonyolu ketes aisurut. Ne kit nemuch imwa keboiboenji en ngalalet noton nebo kandoik chebo chamaitab UDA en tuyet netestai en State House.
Ka baibaitu amun in kanget kononyone I was really ready to get into bad records. Kamun kongeger the finance bill en kini kou ko kini ko mokararan en mwananchi. And therefore kakiger kele in kit agenge nekobeboenji ko kit agenge nekamutwon akobo en ngalekab kiprutoinik ko the taxation of motor vehicles.
Yes.
I mean that one is a good thing whichever way you want to look at it. Kamun kokibwoti kele ara kakinamany kelban kechute barabara kenam kelbani rabishek kakitaxaneje. Kit age nekaboiboenji ko ngalekab the VAT threshold. Kakiib from 5 million to 8 million. What that means is that chitaga tugul kamun and most of our organizations chekitindai komi the small businesses.
Yes.
So ndo force ngele lazima ngo register for VAT ko kangetu komata konyai biashara en ore nani kama mamiten rabishek kebwan. So lifting it from 5 million to 8 million is in itself a big win for the common business person, which is kogit notet no gero laye kosozo. Kita gani ko baibenji ko kagile alcohol content ko determine the excise duty, which is good. Lakini sige discouraging again encouraging bi koma kochut kam ngalekab illicit. All right. So that one is a big win to the common because then it pulls people from alcoholism our focus into la kinyolu.
Nakuboldos ne bichicha mayuya kole amune sogere the harmful part of it mogere wala kisira bi gasisiek mogere wala gibonu mungarosiek manazarele mayuat ne mi bara content ko much ya mile expensive to an extent mwati kele ngetas aisurut ko kitime geisten
in Kenya ko chame bigra. I mean that one is what lakini ko yecham bigra ako test revenue of a government and that's it. I mean it's to be the happiness of the government.
Yes.
Lakini inge namuna zigele nji mati kat karet ko kayema yuat kamun lionen. Yes. And that is the whole thing that we are talking about here.
Yes.
Magita ke.
Yes.
Magele matkele ibi ko yenye lakini mugutu rawisha ko pag serikali ko so.
So ni boy tige imeka shwa.
Ko taxpayers ko kabaranage. The other thing is very exciting about the amendments that have been done right now.
Yes.
Ko ngalega bin taxation and the produce. Kagile ngalega mining kibitunguik tibiasinik kagile ko magi-focus in taxation.
Yes.
Only if you import. What that means is that you are strengthening the person that is on the ground.
Yes.
Nede kagi-focus in gunangele ngetanye wimbar agitamishe matize waswasa katugul ko tugu chotet ko nanyone ko chumgoni borta kabile but it's all good right now.
Yes.
I think I'm a happy person, especially our representative ni biik chechang chemi biashara. Ogin ogitebenge. Kogilelen ara kakitaxen kamun some of our members and tour operators Society of Kenya kotinye garishek. Koibwata nyile kakitesun an expense niko matai itinde agoni ngwaloti biashara. Ko kakilian ngunon. I mean, there is a big win to the guys who are doing tours and travel businesses in transportation. It's the biggest win that we can ever talk about. Ago ka encourage me kora siko ngeti we'll do the returns. Lakini kotko metinye the threshold pa annum of up to 5 million. Mami waswazi iya biashara lakini metinye waswazi lele wanyone nyo hita bichuko bokere ananyo lionen because the biggest threat in business is when you're imagining kage tilin in biashara. No, you cannot be competing with the big boys. Yes. All right, and big boys are people who have been in the market for long, well established. So no at yet in Kabni, kage the show 8 million. So I want to encourage those guys who are in tours and travel business. Yes, you are well registered with KRA. You've declared, and also you declare your earnings. The e-teams is a welcome thing. It's a control system for all of us. So mamiten because you're using e-teams, then you become a disadvantaged person. Mamiten. So I think this particular bill, as it is right now, is a big win for all of us.
Ngalekab ang ganala sana tienge biik chemiten ngweny ak chongindab biikab emet ngalekab chepkondok chekiyokto keboisien oret noton nebo simoisiek. Imuch komwa kole imuch komakites ko warakindos biik kole ara konam kora otes amun one of the stakeholders kikon kerenywan during public participation ko ki Safaricom. Mi amwa ichek kole finance bill kole kochilech amun kiakites chepkondok choton chekiboisien kiyokto chepkondok mobile transactions. Mongen kit nekeker kotienge ak ng'alet noton nebo ng'echeret Francis Kuria namwa kole makiwole en ngalekab transactions.
Actually, Ngalale, Mheshimiwa Kuria, I was really boiling with happiness because this Finance Bill 2024 is one of the things that I was saying it's punitive in whichever way that needs to be looked at it. And I'm happy the President has listened, the Deputy President has listened, and the entire government has listened to the government person. So now, Kangole Kuria, the status quo as it is, then let it be as it is. Yes. All right? So that we don't have to worry about kai taxenan when I'm earning. Now you follow the same money that I'm having. Anye teshi kora ibutul. Ko butul le tajer. Finance bill ne kaje. Ko butul le kabisa.
Amun yani ager engomalo ko kya konam M-Pesa na len usilipa na M-Pesa. Kindly pay in cash. Niger lo ka ko chor mungaret noton nebo koyoktoetab chepkondok en oret nebo M-Pesa.
Yes. Owingele Kenyans ko ngamene. There's always a way out.
Ne mai ko panne ngalecho.
There's maat ke happen. I mean, kai butul mani we ka get len emushara eleven pay. Sinye ile yo ke mam in rabisha ke age butul gore nyoda. Man gobo ko jero age butul ye. Gobo ko jero ke butul ye. Ino ipchik teno. Na ipchik in awai sa shadi. Ngati we amuni ndiga si manda ene school age goite wontu buju. Eguya ko raisi. I mean, then that was the biggest fear within the Kenyans, and I'm really happy. I need to repeat that komnye kogas the president ago gur piki, and this one now is focused in the common person. Yes. Yeah. Kono wanya nyego koya.
Kamwe na Francis Kuria wale ebeljige wara kalle kogas kino ngwa bi awa wale ngun ko ngalek chebo ke protect farmers ang missing ko local manufacturers kamwe ngalek ap tayinek kamwa ta wale iya ulbari sie ngalek ap nene ko amwa ngebusi ngoni ko batik notan kai ma entai simot ke important tun cha tage tienge ke important mo na ga tebi ko fertilizer farm kitu ngete channel rate ni bo mbolea lakini tebi ko lamsta ke important ni mbolea ne gire ngung engalalet na imuch ko no bangecheret engalek ga be gerib ko batindet.
Now you know naturally Kenya is an agricultural country. Ite le miten in magornatet. Yes. So strengthening that common farmer in ground koteshine muscles. So ngeta subi kongen ngole wendi mar kongen ngole wendi mar akonyor the returns as it is expected. Kit ni komagere komukakse en yugonye, en finance bill ni yugonye.
Yes.
So, and the fact that kagile maton getwa ngalekab taerinik, maton getwa ngalekab being the common person, that one in itself is a plus. And I'm happy that the members of parliament went and sat, they listened to the people and accepted the changes and went ahead to implement.
Yes.
Rather, not to implement, they're going to table
Yes,
in parliament on the floor of the house. And I want to believe that even the members of parliament who are from the opposition side are going to support. This is one of the finance bill that I'm expecting that every member of parliament from whichever constituency in Kenya is going to support. Why is because now it's become a common man centric. Mago miten chikoje. So farmers too enelagami. Kala mago tax ni transportation chikapo miwe ongeten imbar paga factory. All right, which essentially had been focused on. All right, kaya kanyungu non ko temis big. Oni kwagero wango jorge mwana.
Ko jorge mwana. By 3 shillings,
which is a plus, and we hope, and I want to challenge the president and the government of Kenya Kwanza. Teremsha hiyo bei mpaka ifike 100 shillings. Inawezekana. I mean, why would it not be possible? Ago strengthening, ago gimegitun biik chemiten in ngweny. And now this is the perfect bottom-up approach. Matage
kwa mawes ini nguni akwek jo miten ngalekab ti operator sana kobo kamanut ngemwa ngalekab climate change ribetab itonwekab emet noto ko rasta kobit koimut amun ngalekab tiongi kora intimi kotinye nalo ngalekab climate change kamwa kole kitieme kora keker la imuch chi age tugul nemuch kosuldoe mungarenyin mara noto nebo factories or industries en oret nemuch kongeme itonwekab emet ketese tax kobaten kale kimegetiem oret nekonu friendly ngalekab ribetab itonwekab emet en oret nemakitaxen kokochi encouragement anan kotech ako changa biik chaimuch kotem kosuldaen korib itonwekab emet either en kamangunetab mwanik chebo kaisien garisiek anan ko electric motorcycles which wageger.
Essentially, and I'm really happy that Kamunga focus in the eco levy to be only charged to be taxed on those that are being imported, whatever items that are being imported. But those that are within come in taxation.
Yes.
What that means is that can encourage an check tool give our environments as it should be. Can encourage recycling. We recycle the materials that are going to be used. Again, discouraging the plastics and in our travel system. Could heritage and that is actually, this is like I'm saying, this is a big win for the common person. Good on peak you meet in ecotourism, for example. Jamko sana gole matoi plastics onge mingeti onge gunone. So we're getting back to the ground. And that is elating. That is the happiest thing. So get focusing in the eco levy go only on imports.
Yes.
The locals, whatever is being produced to take care of the environment, go magegere. Kaya gitia ngimany pikipiki chugo in chubastemo sige choje ni gari gale in.
Ngandale biga pikipiki sala matinya power kabisa. Ala wala kale rekuchi tayo Morgan.
Balanya tulwe.
Mana wat kuna megawa tulwe kyo.
Mara mege to sola ngwe ni go choje no. Yeah. And I think that would be the right thing to do. So I just want to say hongera kwa these guys, the members of parliament who have sat down and also for focusing. Ingengita ngenikiwa iwe kiagile man meet public participation.
Yes.
But that public participation for a long time. Yes, and for a long time, kojam cosmetic. It's been a very cosmetic thing.
Just get it as a process.
You just do it
as a formality.
For formality. And I told one of the members of parliament that I met during those moments of public participation. And I said, you guys, you know what? You're just wasting time here because we know you will go and dump this thing. Mufanye vile sasa mtaambiwa na boss.
Yes.
Pitisha hiyo kitu bila kufikiria. So I'm happy that they went back, they sat on it and internalized and now presented it to the president. And I'm happy that the president, wherever he is, decided in his own wisdom that let me call these guys and let's do the amendments as it is. It's a big plus.
Ingereng'ung genuinely ko igere ko kas rirekab biik anan ko yet pressure en biik. Amun ama iger betab raini kwa magele mi a lot of protest in bunge. Ngada agira ko much ko majority leader Kimani Ichung'wah wale raini ke table na so matobwa mamia to maandamano. Igere ko wait pressure. I remember even chama it not nebo ODM. Kuwasa chebarwet MPs tugul 86 chebo chama ita ODM gole mat commander chi outside the country ngete betab raini amga wale kimache input nebo agenge en pitch chita age tugul ngelewen. Igere ko ngalechu ko kaib keretab biikab emet anan ko yet pressure.
No, I think a good leader is one who listens.
Yes.
And the fact that he listened and said, let's have a discussion, it's that one in itself is good. All right? Ngela mi bi kelele ne ka bo mwai nguno the members of parliament kole lazima wapitishe nki ogo tapita man. I mean, without a lie, it was going to pass as it were if he wanted it to.
Yes.
All right? And the reason why is future members of parliament, they swear, they take us, what do you call this, an oath of party support. So anything that goes along the party support, regardless of whether it's based on the common man or not, they have to support. I mean, that is a pure fact.
Yes.
And I'm one from point of knowledge. Because I've ever signed loyalty. So
to
whatever, loyalty of a party, whatever anything that happens, you must support.
You're part of it.
Yeah. So really, I think magele pressure the president asigole na ngeti na reducing. It's out of pure that point of saying I need to listen to what the people are saying, because it can go bananas.
Yes.
Agoinga nile in Africa komi presidents chelele ni mwane obo birbijo ngatawi goitar instructions ke leo tuangambi in street kapanda lakini sky kamye kamun ka taken the approach kolene he has to listen and now takes it to where it should be. All right, because even in most of the things agot you go more big nothing would change without having things on the floor of the house, because that is the rule of the law. So you can make as much noise as possible. Emoji bolagi watch. Lakini tago mamiten the floor of the house. Kuma mingine gaya. Oh, tande jurtai pangetaon.
Kuge might create drama side shows. Like here more go to the floor of the house.
Yeah, we side shows. And I'm happy that this has happened and he listened. It's not, I don't think it is a pressure. I think it is from the point of kanagole nagaskine muwe bichukone. A woman is, I mean, I support that. Mama chawin, I support that our president. Kongete no liginya. Lakini kwa finance bill ni wala money man lakini siku kwa miti na ageres lakini kuna agesherekean yeah
amgaga muchke wal natan confusion no go bit to an extent go bo tibi go bit tabrai go bit ni bira anan kisirta na mat kisirta agina much komwa Kimani Ichung'wah wale apit tabrai ngete bol ngetyo asibi to tab mut asta bangwan I think kale from tomorrow
yes,
ina ngalale yeah. Komi that confusion ko bati bigol rain go beta man kapsa mo bagi pregura no kisirta.
You know, the people are used to kimazole ni thugu in Kenya.
As a bit silence.
Yes, it would be like you go petition your kitu and then you know nanga get petition in parliament, then that is it. Anyone who is telling you anything will always tell you if you complained unaambiwa angalia sheria. Si mimi ni sheria. KRA will visit you anakuambia threshold yako ni pesa ngapi unapata kila mwaka. Si mimi ni sheria. You get?
Yeah.
So people are prepared because Kenyans are used to they must use force for things to happen. Agwa baipai kabisa era ni gamun matagopit ngalek cheuchon. And we had a lot of fears kami tu yeni katagiti nyentawan oke kwanet matonga iri
kagere kaim district nyentawan
kajingo kotori yendi kage mogen ngatsolwali
gori la bata nyentawan anim Of course, we are expecting a press conference anytime from Azimio. Last match, kuongea nyongo lenga ndanga tuya UDA under the PJ kuona ina amwa kuona gere nywa kutinga notan. Do you think this can be convincing in other parties ku chimami serikali ku Azimio kwangu ndio kuchangaro chori ongisirtan?
I honestly speaking, no, this is my opinion as Raymond. I do not expect anyone to say the contrary.
Yes.
Based on the shift of things. Koge manda chikoache chikokibolchini into this other one that is focused on the common man. So the kind of press conference now muche ager or now expecting ager in bigger Azimio koko nyogo nenye kage kaskini kama serikali Kenya Kwanza ago kisupporteni age pige petitioni kotko mi gine mache koteshi then they can present it on the floor of the house and say now that you've done you've done all the things that people are making noise about nindi anyikita gene andagi propose ni konyere one and that is very healthy. And now that becomes an engagement. Now that line as a country.
Yes.
Yeah.
So much there is no winner, there is no loser in this.
I think in this the winner is the Kenyan man, the common man. Yeah. The loser are the people who pia chango focus engo lai mazige putule kama.
Bimana tasani tu ni kita tu chuko geri biala kola. Genuinely umagatia ni zero rated kola bi halas hotes. Coaching etap chip kondo gene hamun tiam serikali kwa mo gold ko som ina mat negafsa.
Yes, 3.95 billion of trillion rather of a budget is not an easy task, and I think it's one of the things that the government now need to think and engage even in the private sectors, which is the biggest driving force of the biggest driving revenue. Kegergele and kicheng day nine. Kamon last ma ke fill in that gap.
Yes.
Our thingelele reduce any expenditure by the government. How then are we going to fill the gap in the budget? All right? Because 3.95 trillion is not magitnele ni rais missing. So coaching etap chep kondo gigonya kelele ni wan kinyoru ni nano. But the shallow thinking was let us tax this twaile butul chebo in mama mboga yani kidogo anyige lenje lazima ilipan tax. I mean, how would you do that just out of the blues? So I think the biggest thing when you look engage now, okay, fine, we are done with the finance bill, 2024 as it is. I on a ground. Let's engage the private sector, who will now come to the table and say, how then do we increase our revenue base for the country? That way, Koegu Chitugul balanced NLME. And I'll tell you what, Kenyans yanga cham kole bantu Liboni. Meleni Liboni. And even for the ongoing kimi taxes chigito mgelbano liginya. Koge lebano skater. Yeah. Magele magma chi ko lebano. Agita ke nenyalu not ko now you kill the corruption.
Yes.
Any form of yan yagot kege tugul nelele negit ko ngwe in corruption. Kenya look at regardless of who is doing it. And if the president gets to live by his word, then this country is bound to go to the skies.
True.
Yeah.
Nota ngala njita kwa lenjina igere chen ngoni ga studio ga mita na Raymond Cheruyot in go acting CEO nota ngwa ngait nota na Mutai nek ne bo tour operators society of Kenya ke gusini ko ngala nota ngami ko testai in bitabrain in state house na ngala to enduyet nota ne bo PG na bo ngai to yet ngai MPs ko ngale ngotienga le finance bill ako ko ger kitake na much ke ngala le ngara ko bo to kale ne bo mayai nek kale mayai nek kobo tabiasin agin agonians jamo le kagisto exercise duty only on imported eggs, onions and potatoes and locally produced to be marketable as much kalda kima ige tax jibwane ko batemi no gagere ndro ke supporting pension contributors kala ka ingreasen chemuch chepkor chemu ige taxen kongete silingisiek 10 agwe silingisiek 10 en kila arawa ingine imuch kwa mwa Francis Kuria na bangachiret kole at some point kwa eject will kebendi kamunget ana retire
Yes, the contributions chebo the retirement or savings and all that stuff ko ki nenyalu ke encourage as it is. Lakini ingen akotin le niyae savings komi chito neribe those savings. So then to take care of chito neribe ko lazima komi ara kekonon tanyi we.
Ego matorota niriwale ko masika chego.
Ya kono litait agenge asioribi tanyi kangu. I think that is the approach.
Yes.
And magere ko kit ne wendi against the common person.
Yes.
For the simple reason that ingenile retoreni en kenyisiek chebwone komi kit nebo asore komionanyo komomi materialit. And that's ko yes. Ko ribun chito tenya ot ko no kokoi akole kono litait agenge ariben kakane komaya. I mean for me that is my opinion.
Yes.
From where I sit. Ago noni ko affecting chitogol regardless of which sector you are in. To me that I think that is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ngale wa housing levy kale we propose that ngale reduction chebo housing levy chebo shift taxen deductible and hence allow what is subjected to pay the amount less than what was there for so more disposable income.
Yes. You know initially
housing ngane mo
matagi
savings tax then you tax 1.5 you 1.5
lakini the previously done libo 1.5 on housing levy on your earnings go butulon butulinji
kwa gori meset
ko kamnyeit kamun when it is taken through it's part of the tax.
Yes.
Then it becomes much easy to manage. Nguna mago ibe mago choruge kanyor chito rabishek chechang kosir chukoche. Keguye kamun chukoche ne go direct.
Yes.
In your 10,000 wow kuna 1,500 about things lakini ngunon ga channel through as a tax ko miten in ko reduce access. So ngunon go tiko chami in 8,500 ko mara eve 900.
Yes.
Which is 9,000 which is a plus. And kumasi kityo sige scrutinize ngele housing levy chuko bendi pagano. All right. And I hope in 10 years ngonyone president with the retirement in 10 years time kelelet na ye for the introduction of the levies housing levies kori ki umbik chemi chekicham komi kibera kongeten iro ako mengishen iro anan korogosho anan ono those slum areas.
Yes.
If that will happen then that will be a nice thing. Asikobit kolyan kobur biik esabet ne nemi barak nekaikai ni komiten kaikai ngo tirtiru chito eresab kole kai Nairobi
ko men la mamis
ko manyo ko ine wane kigeri nyago chemi kibera
giroger akot chuko aitin shida nebo ngalekab maranet kabisa ko bichi ko men tabanutab oinet kabisa. That's why ngo tesak beek ko biik ata choton and they are complaining kole kayoton lakini now kimi at risk.
Yes, they're at risk. You know, what happens is, as a Kenyan, and especially those guys who are living in those particular areas, they've become hardcores.
Yes.
And that is why they call it, that is their home. So you just can't come and move me out just like that. Awendiano. Kandani ne tabo ndege nye menye iro street kwerga yote iko. Anango weka iro kamun ko itali. Lakini anda given now this housing levy, I focus engele in the next 10 years. Gomono president put the timing in 10 years 2032. Aganye chora ngorik to je chap based on the collections. Yes. Housing levy. It doesn't matter. You don't have to say because atinye got kumatote kichitage. I mean ki warambe chetiana. Ki warambe chetiana igoite ilele ni goite kamo in kamo manyes. Yes. There's nothing wrong with you saying okay fine if the intention is good to have the housing levy in place and increase the disposables for the employees. Then why not? We contribute religiously, but then the government should also be ready to be held accountable and say, so much so was collected from year 1 when this was done to year 10. Haya, mtuonyeshe zile manyumba mlijenga ziko wapi. That way it becomes pretty much easy and people would even be willing. So that as a country, kwa kimandaya ni slums, agepwan elamaya. Kaya zinyi ngwamiru bete, kuburige mwenyeru.
Mentoro tiwenda kimunge. Ni bote lewendi koro.
Yes. Lakini ni ngwamiru bete agi waine.
Kuma bekta kuzi kabet katasta jo bagimo. Gege ngale kabet. Mungaros chemengechen, small businesses. Nanga magole got komita mungare ngung ko less than 1 million. Kale ge examten hanan ke istoy ngale gab e-teams. Torta itana tan gun small ingel SMEs.
I mean, that is the other big win. Apart from Ngabo 5 million threshold being moved to 8 million, for you to engage with e-teams, ingen the small businesses, chang big chimay mele nilemi digital, exchanging jibaravishak.
Yes.
Kibalo biyazi ni kuki yalda romba siling ata 100 shillings. Na ileni sanga bichi kapo imbar. Aya wirena e-teams ko itirauni suko to kolega kayalde won sanga kotori leni mama boge ni kotori
ke ko bote biyazi ne nambar imaji yalen ko bali wiga kibarua imegelba ne kelba bi
itori leni sanga ma chit e-teams ani ande aruchi e-teams sa ko ngetin siko register ne nyun ako maine le yani akte ko e-teams kele na ginye ani ko pin ngungen
yes
jebiosa kada nga che
ndo ke arepin.
So to me, that is a very good thing for the exemption of it, even in these smaller businesses. Ngunan learning nguna juchagas jibo kipruto ini.
Yes.
Kula zai taga udinye chita karit ne independent ne no te konengan. Kotori le niwa ikot nyetai. Silingata transport ini. Aya kule in 15,000. Nam 15,000 imutuanta ejon if to receive sangabi chichega ni level ni ndewan e-teams asi ego non in better you get so having those ones and I am happy that the government understands that about the end those returns komi actually the provision kele koi nyoro an expense and non registered VAT entity here could be an individual, it could be a small business that is running, which is a very good thing. And it actually encourages people. Kit yonna ne akse ko liane ninye. Chitukul then ko endi ko gilage ko a level. Neglele nin awota nanya amite ni ko chitu e-teams. Ko yangele chitu e-teams ko kolongin kolong tulwit.
The proposed 16% on bread has been dropped. Exercise duty on vegetable oil ko gistora natan so ko ngalega magatiat ki mo ngala magatiat also is almost becoming a basic thing
ko nyororo basic very basic
yeah mungkin tu buat yale
ele ubare big magatino
bobi gapto
bole bobi gapto
big luxury
ko le luxury magatiat actually honestly bread ko kine muche kwam chito ko sipta betut
sasa vika majengo sana wallahi ni cheno
ara malanji mzima so having the removing the VAT on bread, on edible oil and all that stuff, it's a big plus for this common, and I'm really happy. Kana nyoni ko ngala wa ngotura mandoe ma kichuta na we police station
amuke ready attack the finance bill. Mata ngani ko ramun chepkondo cho kitabana gilwan kale kisiri boisiet JSS teachers 46,000 on permanent and pension for terms.
Yes.
Additional bracket kisira like
24,000.
Kuna wata mwale istoka bagana ba kwa bitengo negit.
I don't think even isomani none ma mangwale tor ko miten rabik che but I honestly magere le tot ko bitune ni mpenyo kandani zine
ma kemo justify no sinyo gara mun mara ga go mangi la mara mi bi ga ki go achis
case
so me justify no mangu ne bola ge
correct sugur ko magle in accountant
ai da ga ma bunge no ton wala mami tan ma da mana minero ko le ya tuwezi kubali now sigi wa munati amun labat kasarta ko ngale ga corruption ge mwa ko gere ko gete sen pik ngebe live links ke nyora war reporters ke le ne raya kole magiyesiek lakini ngo magigere chepkondo chu kine kiito kol chita boda boda yetaksanan ako stila ba chabe boda na nyuna mun ya oret oret no bunoti ko min wala sama garage abo chap o ga ay taksanan alban ko amune sama igere boisitab chepkondo chu kere bi kole won oibe chechang serikali kosir kasit no aywech ko metech en ole amisek ko rirto en bi ngalab corruption alak angale gara chelen bi maget na mami kora en serikali korike kotoret bichu ak chepkondo cha much komo
correct now okay amon olein anda kiboisien keribin kasit keribchi biik kasisiek kwak ko mamie ot chombo boda boda kocher rabisiek
yes
ako then jeru one bob age tugul kocher rabisiek by close of day the only dissatisfaction ako ngalale ngalekab corruption in itself non-delivery of service is in itself a corruption.
Yes.
Kamuni, kagonin ale ka entrustinin agile ini ribwech in tugu amate irib. Forget about that person that cut any deals, because those ones are there who should actually never be able to get closer to power anywhere.
Yes.
Me think that non-delivery of service, for as long as you're not delivering what you're supposed to be, that in itself is corruption, because then you're earning and you're not delivering. Uwanyalu chitana ma delivering and promises to will chiga mekane, konyalu ko wegrabe kiyagilibonji. I think a law should be passed. Whether you'll use the taxpayers' money and ane kolazme kotige lecha boret, kutokoret kokachobok.
Not engage.
Lakini manye mwagit yule ichabe amata kuchaboga, and you know the problem is no one holds anyone accountable.
Yes.
And as it is right now, and I'm really hoping that we're going to have a bill that is holding leaders to accountable in a court of law. Sumarungo nyele chitawale na wala nyochabe bridge le sirto ngeba kamosin ako mata kuchabak.
Yes.
Ogi kelbanun. Because you're being paid to sit in that office. Ko tiga kige elbanu rabishek amate chap kine kemwa we gura rabishek bwana.
Amu maya gine.
Kamu me gine giyai. So that one is a corruption. It's in itself corruption. Agi nchika na nchika deals. Igere chitawale aya we ingeni chapore aya let's cut a deal giojin ngele 30% en rabishe chan ni jebona chabinye cost quotation agitishi 30% chango chechuket agine la yagun yebere namile iya kwa rabishek. Those kinds of people should never ever get anywhere close to leadership. Yere ago rampant ngalejo ade very rampant. Ndamege nambiga
Agong serikali.
Mangati chito bwana.
Mangati chito. Ngiyo biga kericho music. Now asiki wangu. Why ngone ntu yana wa PG beyond ngala finance bill. Why ngatyam ngalalen tili handit nemiten en gwenu tap conduct chebo chama it noton ba UDA. Asiki stangalega techinet nemi ko bit misno ke borianje. Ngana ko mabi galak kole noton ko much ko site shows ke chenge ngalega ke stabi ko mat ko ko ngala finance bill. Why ndos kangalalen mone.
Kagere body language nebo the DP. Negative nana, and naga advisor nebo DP. But I let him with that press conference. It's the one in road. Come the body language in itself kagongita.
Yes.
As the senior most person who was standing there among us, leave alone the fact that the majority leader Ichungo was now he was leading the members of parliament. Him now he was the deputy party leader nebo Kenya Kwanza. Kokatanendet ne katatare kotuyet kounon. Keguya mwangen amune sika ngoteben Ichungwa kolenji itinye ngolion correspondent in a way kole kit my advice. I'm not qualified to advise the president.
But can give your own opinion.
But I'll give my own opinion. Is you'd need to work together for the betterment and look back to where we came from. We came from very difficult moment. And having come through that particular moment, koyache tuyege agocham jindoze o mama ngwale mwetu kunchacha. Ko kitake kora na mucha moi the DP is keeping in it again. I mean, if he is going to borrow a leave from the president, having gone through what he went through, then he has a bright future. You will not have you shouldn't have a situation where you go and make declarations kuchang kobo kwai in kamosi kole kwai makosa aegunon. I mean, pole pole. The baby is still very young, and this kind of thing should not even be happening right now, in my opinion. I am not qualified in any way. This is my own opinion as Raymond Cheriot, as a citizen of this country, and a close follower of whatever things that are happening, and obviously as a supporter of the president. Ngile president ko kikinomi kikiwa ngongete nelelo. Kandangi mi kelele no. Kwai en yon. So amawasam kityo kandoik tugul alenji onamgei eunek at least en nguni. Matkobit angen siasa ko tuguk chemuche kopinduana sait age tugul, lakini matko nguni. Kakile kakuche ngebendi laget oto mi laget kora. Molen ile ngotereten ya president Daktari William Ruto kolen kawape kasit. Kareta kemoi kora banda. Yes. Ngan kakile ngani kile mawekse chiaga nyokole kanyoko deputy. Ako deputy nebo president nebo imetaga. Ako deputy ko nenyonet en in Kalenjin. Ako nebo tu ngumagene tekisto. Yes. Kewekige kora kele kimuta kemoi in Kizakin. Ako ingebendi tairo ko democracy nenyone. I mean, we've come a long way as a country, and therefore, ongi mutyon pole pole. Matko bit polet negile ni magole.
Siasa. Kokemwa kitenta nekemwa ile koyosioet nenan oibe noton nebo chama. No mole yula bait kabisa angalek chebo chama ak tiletab chama. Komwangen netan kato kotechin kandoik choton chebo chamait akoto kora kowaljige ngalek akot ngwal MP nguni ngemwa Oscar Sudi kowaljin ngalek ak deputy president komone kokemwa ile miten the oath nemiten nekeyosin kele kisbi ngalekab chama and they are the party.
Okay, that is normal. Yani sainen happy yego a candidate nebo party. Ko there is an oath that you take. Ile engege tugul nebo ngoni chamait. Osibi. Kerge ngotuye nangolel. Kechirchirte ko kunot. Yeguye. Because of that oath, then the bound to abide. Unless now ityon agitiarte konigere in nanki kiumjige chito gele kalyon. Tekisto ko kit nesire ki age tugul en serikali. Matkele ikogeit anan ne ingen amune tungobet betusiek tom keit betutab let. Andabo let karon nanye otogele okay magmogen en rogetar
asiko ara karon go mwisho.
Yes. So tekisto ko kit nebo maana mising ako kit nomwoini ka kandoik tugul chemiten ngecherok ak che upcoming kochut ngecherok. Yeah.
So tos kibira kura en bunge asikamuch kenai kot kisirto the finance bill of course the changes.
They will do, I think they'll do the sitting tomorrow. Akile nguni kebe kesoman kityo kele ngalechu kamwoe Mheshimiwa Kuria akina Mheshimiwa Ichung'wa ko kamwoe outside out of their deliberations chikamiru. Iba ngalalani kan go to the floor of the house. This is what it is. Agot wenyon asikobit en karon kewek kenyeke debate kele magole na ole maogere got sire Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think the whole of this week that is the focus.
Kongoi amache kiwangun yoton akabaten amoy mwong chekinowen nguni ngalekab kiprutoinik. Kwakunwa mut Bomet. Koker kabisa chang biik chebendi nguni Mara. Mongen une ko kwa barak kidogo kikaima ngalekab ropta nikabit maranet missing na abwati yot ke-evacuate some of the tourists in Masai Mara. Une nguni.
So to be honest, 2024 is much better than it was in 2023.
Yes.
That is with honesty. And we have a lot of tourists coming in. Yes. The only concern ko tugalak in kungunon park fees chiba Mara, for example. Yeah. You know, they changed the park fees from $60 to $200. $60 was $80 rather was for 24 hours.
Yes.
The $200 in the peak season is for 1 day. So it means if you have a family of 5, right? all adults, you'd be paying $1,000 per day, and it doesn't matter were you get in at 6 up to 6, or you get in at 1 up to 6,
Yes.
you'll still pay the same $1,000. Now, for 2 days, because normally what happens is we do effective game drives in Mara for 2 days. That is $2,000.
Yes.
Ingengola selling at $2,000.
Almost 128.
Yes. Now, goni iwe inakte iwe isiri in iwe Serengeti, called $70. Do you see where the competition is coming in? Right. And where else this like Mara is Narok based, but it's a Kenyan brand.
Yes.
Right. So there should be a kind of engagement between the stakeholders and the counties that are holding these resources, because the resources are in each of the counties, not by anyone's design. Hiyo ni maneno ya Mungu.
Yes.
I mean, that Mara could have been anywhere. I mean, Lions could be anywhere else. The fact that it's just in Mara, in Narok County, does not make it exclusive for the Maasais.
Yes.
I mean, you can't do a game drive, or you cannot sell a travel a destination without mentioning Masai Mara, because of the wild beast migration. So that is the only challenge now that we are facing. And I know we have had people.
More your own views on that?
People just decided and said, right, we've decided as an executive of Narok that we will charge 200 and peak season at 3,000 for locals.
Yes.
So a local person who was paying 1,000 shillings is now paying 3,000 shillings. All right? 1,000 shillings was for 24 hours.
Yes.
The 3,000 shillings is for 12 hours.
Yes.
All right?
So only got over 6,000 shillings.
Yes. And when you're on transit, if ukipatikana at past 10, then you pay for that day. If you're staying in Talek across, you know there's no direct route to Talek. You have to go through Sekenane, you cut across the park to the other side. If for whatever reason you get delayed at the camp, you have to pay to get in and exit. Now that's a big thing. Pass, transit pass. Mami. So igere imuji liwa 9,000 shillings kimchezo, kelban raine 3K, agaruni liban 3K. Each lewa liban 3K, I liban 9,000 shillings. Ago 3K to go cham 1,000, 2,000. You know, you'd easily pay. That is the only challenge that we are having. And of course now also we have had an engagement like NTSA. Harassment about tour vehicles is one of the biggest thing and the biggest problem that we need to eliminate in this country. You cannot detain a vehicle that has customers inside. I mean, kotinya shida the vehicle, then the number one is to ask which organizations do you belong to. If there's no organization, then suddenly that vehicle belongs to someone.
Yes.
Delivering customers, you hold that person accountable. Yes. All right. And that is why now, as association, we work with the NTSA, we work with the TPU, the Tourist Police Unit, who have been very helpful. The reason why we have the Tourist Police Unit, TPU, because we got to and rog to operators. Yes. Changale na ibruto ini. Ere jitaga.
Kabanga na buza bombi.
Aga kia miaga ne $20,000.
Yamelipa.
Kalwan jita $20,000 matokonyo.
Ano kahit kayo mo existe.
Mami jichota.
Ami kwa skila mali.
That is why I can encourage any tour operators. They must or they ought to register to an association. When you belong to an association, there's basic things that are being done. So they would need to ask the very basic question. Which association do you belong to? Yeah, kona direction kole okay lazima kumaya chichi na I mean for you to be trusted kolipanu mchumindet $100,000 ago mangenin then that's a big thing and it's a win when you belong to an association then you build trust and most likely then you'll do more business.
Yes.
Otherwise, kechore kora ko pendi biik in Tanzania parate tebele nga bachichang pruto in Serengeti. Kamun one aspect of spoiling of a spoiler tour agent ko negative ko torto biik ko in the neighboring countries. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
but
you so
overall, the tours travel industry is doing well.
Yes.
That is, as me, I also have a tours and travel company, and we know for sure that it's good.
Une race in
You race safaris. You race safaris. Kami mina. Sasone. John Jan.
Kim.
Ka.
Already. It is the peak season.
Peak season. Starting next tomorrow. July, 1st July, through to September. End of September is the wild beast migration.
Okay.
And it's a peak season right now. Maya?
Une ni this time muti bruto inek. Une de ngema local tourism. Sansan ko big apka. Une chang big chipo galenjin.
Yes, they're still recording a big number. For us, it's 50-50. 50% foreigners, 50% locals. And it's good. Ogo Maya imbe. Onyo lo anyinya
sikete. Sama wajibi ya Kass FM. Wale boazo go trees amoja kwa Masai.
Onyo lo.
Yes. They'll talk with you.
Very good.
So, unangalia KTB Kenya Tourism Board in Ngone. Kwa geri cheme go Martha some places in counties through CEO June keme kumwa wale kimache can I be what in counties kwa me place much ke visitor.
It is we actually part and parcel of that unearthing the destinations as tour operators of Kenya. So we are inside that particular structure and I need to tell you for sure June has started doing an amazing job engaging the stakeholders. That in itself is a big plus. Because the biggest driver in the economy, and that includes the tourism sector, is in the private. Do you know, and if you look at the agencies, Jebo tourism, kuma meet in the Mashinani. Yeah. Ingen changlele meet in extension officers, changerate in nyanye, gotigo bityo komnye. Jamba kuma meet tourism. But the person that gives the extension is a private tour operator and a travel agent. So we go engage in KTB, the private sector, kondo itoe in Tusk tour operator Sari of Kenya. Ketorta ngalega kenagele miano ano ne enolon, which county is the most marketable. Of course, we know in Ngune kele the big parks commit in which counties. Lakini the very unique scenery places che mucha kwa takten kutenwek with the waterfalls. Awanga na lein mara ugere bige ni ma na le kurene eni bomed ni botenwek asururiet
not an meet and then I hospital.
Yes. Kona ngo mucha wa mutu ikinyo gere met kabileta ga. Anana nyo tembea ninge rujo nango gerot chai. Nyebuti big chai ga mangen kolein wangundono. And farm tourism is a very big thing. Yeah, chama bibi kebendi central in kya kebendi besha muranga. I mean them kapcha ni tabjita bol.
Ko ga tourist site. Yiga le mai ge togi ne gure ni na tourism. Kala ne bage buno. Na get them ge togi no tiran ke me ge baise lagi no want to me na peken. What missing bana Raymond maybe ngajat na badat ke tyo asugo much ki wa munda tuite beta brain.
All right. Kid nebalet namache amwa ko encouraging Kenyans ke supporting, especially those of us who are in the private sector, ke supporting the government of the day in terms of business and cooperating with whatever plans that are there. Only when it is working for you. Don't magilele ngalega mungi mi private sector ani ko magitwegu ga munin langa chile ko yot kimwe aga encouraging vijana alenji ongigilgele ye mamiten chi nesobe ni bananda ongikilgei. Imoe na biashara kora kimuchi kekonok tips. Ko this tour company notindoi ko kimotinye besho kinonyone 2015.
Kifagito.
Yes. Ko ki age tugul komukokse ongikilgei. And to the government of Kenya, please, we look forward to having those amendments being tabled in the House, and we look forward to celebrating as a country to have everything that has been said being put on paper and being assented to by the President of Kenya. Thank you.
Kongot missing Raymond Cheruyot inendet ko acting CEO noton nebo mekait noton nebo tour Operator Society of Kenya. Kone kora komiten en kampunit noton nebo Yuri Safaris. Kumwe en ngalek choton chebo bandab tai missing kotiengei ak finance bill noton kakimuch keng'alen ak kimau keib kwa bunge emetab raini sait 8 ak kebeberyat asikomuch ketebolen en parliament komait keng'alalen en betutab amut kuwe ng'alet noton nebo majority leader Kimani Ichung'wa komiten en betutab raini kotab tuiyet anan kotab boror anan State House Nairobi. Kainenyu ko Shadrack Mutai awekse en amatyan metwaige neno ketisiet noton ichame nebo Kass TV.